Syrians will elect a new parliament. It's the third such vote since the start of the uprising in 2011. The last time, large parts of the country were outside government control. President Bashar al-Assad's forces have since recaptured nearly 70% of territory they lost to the opposition. As in previous elections, candidates need to be vetted by security. And the credibility of the election has been further questioned by the exclusion of millions of Syrians who left their country or have been displaced by the conflict.
8 million people in the north of the country, for example, won't have any representation in the next parliament. And the deputies who are supposed to represent regime-held areas are not real representatives. They won't stand by the people. They are beholden to the regime, which has absolute power and control.
But President Bashar al-Assad is facing challenges. Results of previous elections were not recognized by the international community. The Syrian leader will need to agree to political reforms in order to receive Western aid to rescue the economy, devastated by years of war and corruption.
The regime thought that this is a preemptive strike of any elections to take place in accordance to the peace process, because 2254, UN Security Resolution, calls for a peaceful settlement for a political transition.
After much delay, the UN announced the creation of a committee to rewrite the constitution ahead of internationally monitored elections. There hasn't been any progress. The elections contradict the political transition agreed on by the international community, but Assad seems to have different objectives. Many say Syria's president is ensuring the incoming parliament, whose job is to ratify a new constitution, will reject any changes to the president's powers and tenure in office.
He brought all the warlords, all the money laundering people who fought with his forces on the ground. So he knows, he tested them for a while. And these people who will be voting soon for the constitutional amendments, they know that they will be accountable on the same changing the constitution when we talk about transitional justice.
The Syrian president showed little willingness to agree to political concessions even when he was losing the war. He now believes he's won, largely thanks to the help of his Russian and Iranian allies. For many, this latest election shows how little has changed in Assad's Syria. Zeina, Khodr, Jazeera, Beirut.